Hello, this is zzuxon presenting my SSB4 rosters version 10. Now, these are not a wish list, nor are they a prediction. They're merely my attempts to make a set of rosters that makes sense, like what I would do if I were in charge. So don't say, well, Sakurai hates Starfy or Sukapon, because I don't care what Sakurai thinks. This is what I would do if I were in his shoes. So, there are going to be two different versions of Super Smash Bros. 4, one for the Wii U version and one for the 3DS version. As a result, I have two different rosters, each with their own exclusive characters. Now, there are people who aren't going to like this, but the 3DS version has limited memory capabilities. It will handicap the Wii U version if it doesn't have exclusive characters. Furthermore, there needs to be a reason to get both versions. Now, there are going to be some people who say, well, just the fact that it's Smash on the go is reason enough. But it's not, especially in these hard economic times. There needs to be a good reason to get it, beyond just, 3D graphics and stuff. So, I have, on my 3DS version, a customizable character option, as well as popular characters such as Fawful and Isaac. This makes it worthwhile to get both games. Now, I decided on the Wii U version to devote the Wii U version entirely to Nintendo's console history, while devoting the 3DS version entirely to handheld history. This way, between the two versions, a lot of Nintendo is represented. Now, the one exception to this rule is third-party characters. There are only third-party characters on the Wii U version. This is a hypothetical cost-cutting maneuver on my part, because the cost of making two high-profile games like this is going to be high in the first place. And third-party characters make it even more expensive. So without further ado, onto the rosters. The Wii U version has 50 characters. Toad is my new Mario character. Yoshi's not a Mario character, he's just on the same row. Toad is, in my opinion, a better choice than Bowser Jr. He's been with the Mario series since the very beginning. He's had his own game, and he's been playable in other games. And he's iconic. There are people who never play video games who talk about Toad. So, these make him the best Mario character. I didn't put in a new Donkey Kong character, because Donkey Kong has like 5 significant games, and it already has 2 characters, Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. I think this is sufficient for the Donkey Kong series, and it can allow me to put in some other characters representing new series. Paper Mario and Waluigi are both Mario's spin-off characters. They represent their own series. Paper Mario represents, obviously, the Paper Mario games, and Waluigi represents Mario Kart, Mario Party, and Mario Sports. Now, you may notice that I got rid of Toon Link. It's not that I wanted to, but it's that I couldn't afford to have a different version of Link on the 3DS version. And the 3DS version, the handhelds had the Oracle games and Link's Awakening, so they were more qualified to have 2 versions of Link than the Wii U version is. However, a cartoony version of Link is a costume change for regular Link. Ghirahim is pretty much just a placeholder, because I couldn't think of anyone better to put in the 5th Zelda slot. I might replace him with Tingle. I don't know. And Skull Kid is not a placeholder. I think he's on his own rights, because Nintendo has already said they're probably going to remake Majora's Mask on the 3DS. And also, Skull Kid has very high fan demand. I mean, he's like one of the most popular Zelda characters, like new Zelda character possibilities. So he gets in, all by himself, not a placeholder. Tom Nook, I think Animal Crossing deserves a character. I mean, maybe it's not an action game, but Nintendo is about representing all of Nintendo, not just its action games and its fighting games and stuff. And Animal Crossing did get its dues, kind of, in Brawl, with a stage and some trophies and stuff, but that's really not enough. I mean, I've got characters in here that are much less significant than Tom Nook, and yet they're in. It's not fair to put in one of them, like Lip, and not put in Tom Nook. My new Pokemon characters are Mewtwo and Victini. So don't say that you can't put in Mewtwo but not Lucario, like replace Lucario with Mewtwo. I didn't, because Lucario is actually in the 3DS version. He's just an exclusive to the 3DS version. And I'll explain my reasoning for Pokemon characters between rosters then. And Victini, I like Victini better than Zoroark. He could kind of represent the Mew-like Pokemon, and his movies are more recent, and he's got 2. So I think he's better qualified to get in than Zoroark. Redley needs no explanation. Actually, next roster I'm probably going to replace either Lip or the Excitebiker with Dark Samus. I just haven't really decided yet which one I'm going to. Actually, you know what? Okay, so I just changed my roster mid-video. I replaced the Excitebiker with Dark Samus, and I moved Ness down into the Excitebiker spot. I just think Metroid should have a third character if Kirby and Fire Emblem does. So, I don't think Kata really needs any explanation. Neither does Ray. Okay, I decided to remove Wolf. The Star Fox series has, like, 4 original games, maybe 5, and then a couple of remakes. It doesn't, and it's dying, it's on its deathbed. It doesn't seem fair to give Star Fox 3 characters, while other series that deserve to get in may have to be skipped over because Star Fox gets 3 characters when it doesn't deserve a third character at all. So I got rid of Wolf. Bubbles is from the relatively popular original Nintendo game Clu Clu Land. I didn't put in Little Mac as my new retro character because Little Mac, he was kind of from a licensed game. I mean, it had Mike Tyson in it. I mean, I know nothing else was licensed, but it kind of seems weird. Also, Lil Mac has all these new games, and most people don't know him for his original games. They just know him because he was an assist trophy in Brawl, and because of Punch-Out Wii. So he doesn't entirely qualify as a retro character. You could argue that he could, but I'm kind of leaning towards the miscellaneous part, and he doesn't really qualify as a miscellaneous character. Bubbles, on the other hand, is a more unique character, in my opinion. I actually made a really interesting moveset for her. Hopefully I'll upload it soon. She has one of the poles from Clu Clu Land, and she uses it like a rapier. And she's really fast, but she has really bad traction. So she'd be a really interesting character to play as. Let's see. Lip is in for to represent Nintendo's puzzle games that they do. Lip's from Penelope. There isn't Mr. Game & Watch, but don't panic, he's just a 3DS version exclusive. Let's see. Shulk, just for the record, Xenoblade is finally going to be released in America. I'm so excited, I want one. I want a copy. And then Slime and Chocobo is actually really interesting. I think that Slime and Chocobo could make a really good Square Enix rep. I mean, Slime represents Dragon Quest and Enix, and Chocobo represents Final Fantasy and Square. Together, they make an excellent Square Enix representatives. A group of Slime and Chocobo supporters on Smashboards actually made a really interesting moveset for them. It's like Slime is riding on Chocobo's back, so it's not a tag team as you might think. And it's like Slime does most of the special moves, and Chocobo does, most of the A moves. So together it's pretty good. I really like the movesets. The 3DS roster has 35 characters in it. Now, there are 5 Pokemon characters, which is more than the Mario and Legend of Zelda characters, because Pokemon is bigger on the handhelds. Now, on the 3DS version, I want to represent the generations, kind of the games, more. While on the Wii U version, I want to keep to the traditional Pokemon Smash format. So, Pikachu represents the first gen, Caesar represents the second gen, Hoenn Pokemon Trainer with Mudkip, Grovyle, and Blaziken represents the third gen, Lucario represents the fourth gen, Genesect represents the fifth gen. I might replace Caesar with a second gen Pokemon Trainer and replace the Hoenn Pokemon Trainer with Deoxys. I don't know, I've been considering it. Mario is kind of balanced out by the fact that it's got some spin-offs, and so that kind of gets it equalized with Pokemon. Legend of Zelda, Phantom Zelda, and Tetra Transformation. I didn't want to include a Toon Zelda form, cause it'd be hard to make her not a clone. But it'd be very easy to make Phantom Zelda and Tetra not clones. So transformation between those two, I think, would be really interesting, and save data space and stuff. Don't think I need to say anything about Vaati or Tingle. Okay, I have in the Baby Mario Brothers a second Yoshi character. Kamek, in my opinion, there's not really anything to Kamek, and he doesn't even appear that much. The Baby Mario Brothers are much more recurring in the Yoshi series, and an original moveset, it will not only be easy to make, it already has by a friend of mine by the name of Bongo Buddy 61. He makes a lot of good movesets, even for characters that don't lend themselves to making a moveset. You need to go subscribe to him, because he is awesome. Now, followers of my channel will know I used to have the Flipnote Frog on the 3DS roster. I put him in earlier to represent Flipnote and PictoChat and all those other special little programs on the handhelds. I ended up taking him out to put in Donkey Kong, but I'm considering taking out the Baby Mario Brothers and putting the Flipnote Frog back in their place. Fawful is a spin-off, like Paper Mario. Chrom is the main protagonist of the upcoming Fire Emblem 3DS game. I put him in because he's the most recent person that's important in Fire Emblem. Andy is a character representing Advanced Wars. Bungo Buddy 61 made a moveset for him. It's really great. So he's feasible, because of that. I don't think I need to say anything about Muddy Mole. There's Mr. Game & Watch, Starfy, Isaac Gray, Lucas. Okay, the 3DS has a custom character. On the 3DS, you can make a custom character. You'd be able to customize appearance, moves, everything. And then you would be able to move it, along with any other 3DS exclusive characters you want, onto the Wii U version, if you ever want to battle with them. That's the end. This is zzuxon, signing out.